Here we go, the first of many tests that are to come. I told you put on your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's not just one fall or one climb. It's going to be bumpy. There's going to be a series of events happening. Why? Because we have ordered the, let's just say, collapse or dissolution of foundations that don't work for us. Do not be afraid, but I want you to know one thing. This is critical for you. If you have taken my New Earth Shift class, or you're about to take that, then you will understand, and I'm going to talk about it in this video, why these are critical times for us and events, and how you can now shift out of how we've been behaving into how we want to behave, and we're going to talk about that right now. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. We can do that. I know it doesn't seem like it. This too shall pass. Our planet has been through things like this many, many times before. What am I talking about? There's a lot of unrest. I'm here in Atlanta, and a couple nights ago, I could smell the city burning from my house. Was I afraid? No. Fear is something that causes more separation, and the more we fear, we're fearing one another. This is when crisis requires our absolute change in behavior from what we've done in the past. This is your test. Are you ready for it? Because I'm telling you right now, there is a beautiful world that we are in and that awaits all of us. We get to choose. When we start to behave the same way we've behaved for centuries, violence with violence, we have a double negative. Two negatives equal a negative, right? What are we going to do about this? We're going to go into the positive. When we look at the situation, we have to ask ourselves why people behave a certain way. And it's never really the actual event itself. It's the frustration and other things that are going on in here that come out, usually at a boiling point. This is what's happened with the virus, with our financial industry, with our jobs, with now how we treat one another. This is happening right now, and it's a boiling point. But here is the critical piece. I hope that you truly step back and recognize how we would usually behave and what we're feeling and thinking and the mob mentality, and go over here and ask yourself how the new earth person behaves. How does that new earth person behave? There will be challenges. Now here's the deal about the new earth. There will be challenges, absolutely, because we're still on planet Earth. The new earth thinkers, believers, action takers, do not behave the same way as we have behaved for centuries that's kept us opposing one another and then using negative tactics for what? It's not positive change. So I'm seeing things go on here that are really punishing the innocent people who have nothing to do with one situation that happened, because it's not one situation. It's the accumulation of things that people no longer want to tolerate. But it's what we do with that situation that will take us into peace and positive change, or continued rebellion, fighting, and making ourselves look bad, right? It's not a remedy to what's been happening. I'm asking you right now, where are you going in every situation? And it's not just about what's going on out there. It's going on with yourself, with your job, with your finances, with your relationships. Are you going to go into fear and behaving a certain way that has not served you well? Or are you going to say, that person who behaved that way is not the person who functions in a new earth, a golden era, an era of peace? The blame and the hate and the anger doesn't work We know this. We cannot solve the problem, as Einstein said, with the same mind that created it. Who is that person? Now, I'm actually going to do this with my friends at brunch today. We're going out. We're not walking around in fear. We know that we are okay and that there's a beautiful world out there that's resolving itself, right? We want to be part of the energy that embraces one another and sends peace and love. Now, I want you to do this. If you choose, this will be fun, get a piece of paper out. Ask yourself what beautiful situation you'd like to live in. Now, most of you are going to say a world of peace and abundance, right? Health, abundance, peace. Most of all, probably peace right now, because when we're in peace, we're a giving, loving society. So my question is, what would you love to come into your life right now? What life would you desire to live? And not requiring other people to change, but you personally, what's that reality for you? And you can say a peaceful world, but you know, if you're going into, I want Joe to stop behaving this way, I want Sally to be awakened. No, let's talk about you right now, because that's where change starts. Right here, here to there. Christ said, look not without, no matter what's going on out there. This is the Bible now. And I don't have the words exactly, but I do know the meaning. And that is, look within. No matter what's happening out there, look within. Because when we're looking at this and reacting to this, we are reacting to what already exists that's not working. When we go in here, we're creating something different, and this changes. So when you're in here, you're not out there burning buildings or police cars or anything else or innocent, owners. We have some African American businesses here that are destroyed. Does that make any sense? Beautiful people, hardworking people trying to get back on their feet. Burnt out. Probably will never be able to go back in business again. Does this make any sense? It doesn't. That's the world we have lived in. Our world must make sense now, and it has to transform in the most amazing ways. We should be uniting with those beautiful people out there in the city and saying, we don't tolerate bad behavior, but we're going to show that we're not going to be the bad behavior. Do you see how this works? We must be that which we desire the world to become, because that's what we're going to project. And when we are the bad behavior, we are creating the bad behavior planet. And that's what's happening right now. By the way, this is a small percentage of people doing this. You don't hear about the person and the meditations going on out there and the prayers that we're sending out and the blessings for peace. Because you don't see those people out there screaming and yelling, burning things down. We're not going into that space. So I want you to rest assured that there is an awakening happening, and the shift that, as I shared with you, my download was, this cannot be stopped. We have enough people shifting into awakening that we are going into a higher frequency planet. But you will still see the lower frequency behavior hanging around. Don't allow that to control your feelings and your thoughts of how the world is, because the media loves to put that in your face. So this is where you're going to be tested big time. Here we go. You got your seatbelt on. Somebody said, what's a seatbelt? I said, what, you've never driven a car? You've never been on a roller coaster? Most of all, a roller coaster. You want to fall out of that car, right? Click, 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 click. And we're going to go down some little hills and some big hills. And then we'll have pauses where we're going up. We're saying, we think we're coming out of this. Yay. And they go, here we go again. Test, test, test. This is what we came here for. This is it for you. This is it. It's not like, wait, this isn't working. Nope, here we go. This is the change. This is the evolution of the soul. This is the just transformation of the planet. Yay, you ready? How are you going to act? So take that piece of paper. Who's that new person? What's that new mind for me that says, instead of getting angry and putting on the news and, yeah, oh, please, people aren't protesting for that one thing. They're protesting for something much bigger. and they're frustrated. I'm asking you how you're behaving. Who's that new person? What's that new mind? And what can I do to make the shift happen in a positive way? How can I contribute to the positive shift? Because I'm not asking you to sit on the couch and eat Cheetos. I'm telling you that there are so many ways that you can change the world, and so many of you are. Container homes for homeless, people creating community gardens, new schooling systems, new ways to teach children. It's amazing. I want to assure you, I'm hearing this because I get hundreds. By the way, please don't send me these long emails. I can't read your personal problems. You want solutions? I've got 2,000 videos on my channel. I want you to watch those over and over and over again so you get it in your head that you're in control. You're in control. I'm going to give. What I give, I receive. I'm going to give because when I give, I'm saying to the world, there is abundance, there is peace, there is joy. And the universe says yes. But when you're giving anger and frustration and violence, the universe says yes. And this is where we split. And those who choose the new earth will not only not be afraid of what's going on out there, they're going to look at it and see if you can do this. There we go again. There's that centuries-old behavior, mob behavior, that we've been doing for years that doesn't work. It doesn't really change much of anything. And a lot of innocent people get damaged along the way. We have to find new methods for the transformation. Yes, for the transformation. We are one. Our skin colors, it doesn't matter. And if somebody's behaving badly and somebody feels that they need to be punished, so I want you to think about this. Those of you say the murderers, the rapists, and all this other stuff, oh, I can't love them. What just happened? What just happened that caused all of this violence? It's somebody thinking that way. Here's a person of color, and maybe they did something, and so that hate and anger goes in there, that separation. You would never do something violent to another person if you thought of them as beautiful. And just another student, maybe misbehaving badly, maybe not. That's irrelevant. When we become one, we start treating each other with respect, no matter what that person is. And that's what happened, and now we're acting the same way. I'm going to ask you right now, are you still in that separation? Every person walking around is a light being, not a color, not an education level, not a financial status, none of it. It's a role. They're going through their own lessons, and so are you, and they are your teachers. How will I treat this situation? I'm not asking you to put yourself in the line of fire or put yourself in danger. We have to understand what we're dealing with. You don't walk into the lion's den. All right? So, are you ready for this? This is the test. What is my new behavior? And it starts with how you think and believe and unite. We're going to do global meditations. I'm going to make some announcements if you'd like to know that. If you're on my Instagram, my Facebook page, or my Pinterest, I'm going to announce a global meditation for peace and change, transformation in the most positive way. So go ahead and go over there because this is when you can use it most. Sitting in our homes not working and finding ways to entertain ourselves or things that we cook or whatever. That was great, but now is the test. Are you going to go into the new earth? Because we cannot go into that new earth with the same mind that existed in the old one. Join me, my friend. Put this aside and say, how does that new person of peace behave? Because that's how we help injustice, bad behavior, violence, separation. Don't you be the person that separates yourself. Don't you be the person that says everybody in a certain profession now is evil. So we're going to hurt them or damage somebody who is maybe a good person, family person. and then you're going after them because one person over here did something bad or groups of people did something bad. This makes no sense. That was certain people involved in certain situations. We are whole. We are one. That was bad, really bad behavior. And we are not going to tolerate it, but we're not going to turn against one another. That doesn't change that situation. Let us unite. Let's not oppose one another. Let's unite and say we all agree this is not okay. Can you do that with me? No more violence, no more low frequency behavior, no more arguing with each other, no getting on the soapbox. This is how it is, and this is, say, how do we change this? How do we change this? There are solutions. Let's find them without hurting another person or damaging businesses or anybody else who's out there that has nothing to do with this situation. Join me, my friend. You're beautiful, and you may feel some anger and frustration, but I'm here to tell you that the majority of people do not feel that anger and separation that you're seeing out there. They are thinking completely different, and that thought is going to you right now in the most positive way if you receive it. So, join me and write down who is that new person that you know lives in an amazing world that is shifting the lower frequency up by contributing in a positive way, not forcing things on it, but contributing and creating something new that will want to participate in. That's what we must do. Write it down. What can I do? How can I behave every day to change my thinking? How can I stop going into hate and anger and negativity and fear? There's no reason to fear. No more fear. You done with it? I'm going to go meet my friends for brunch in the city of Atlanta. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. My Shift into the New Earth class is down, master class is down there. It's 3 hours. There's a coupon code. You can sign up. You get, if you're not in the live class, you get a recording. Everybody does, whether you go live or not. Everybody gets this recording, unlimited for 1 year. And it's how we can go into the new earth, because there is one, and it's already happening. We must be steadfast, my friend. I'm going to say it again. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.